Hello, and welcome to Interfaith Food Shuttle's at-home training for volunteers and interns. By the end of this at-home training, we hope that you will have an understanding of our work and how you can become a part of our programs. The goal of the training is for you to develop an understanding of Interfaith Food Shuttle programs, our national partnership with Share Our Strength, the proprietary curriculum that we have designed to meet specific needs in our community, the teaching techniques that we utilize, and our impact. Whether you are volunteering for an upcoming Cookie Matters class or serving as a Cookie Matters coordinator intern, this training will help you get started with who we are and how we do what we do. We are grateful to have you on board and look forward to working with you in the months to come. Interfaith Food Shuttle's mission is to pioneer innovative, transformative solutions designed to end hunger in our community. We do this in a number of ways, and we like to categorize these activities into 3 groups: we feed, we teach, and we grow, because it outlines what our programs do. First of all, we feed. Our food recovery and distribution team is responsible for distributing food to families in need. We collect over 6 million pounds of healthy, perishable food in refrigerated trucks from over 350 food donors. We then distribute it quickly throughout the Triangle area to hundreds of programs and agencies that feed the hungry. We have a range of children's hunger relief programs as well, including Backpack Buddies, after-school snacks, and summer feeding programs. These programs meet the nutritional needs of hungry children throughout the year when other resources are not available, so children are nourished and ready to learn. We take fresh local produce into low-income neighborhoods through mobile farmers markets, meeting people at their point of need. We provide cooking demonstrations at the mobile market so families can learn how to prepare fresh produce they receive free at the mobile market. One of the cornerstone components of our mobile markets involves feeding with dignity. This principle is applied to mobile markets in the way that we register participants by not asking for proof of family size or other details about their personal situation, as well as operating our markets on a free choice model where participants can select items as if they were at the grocery or farmer's market. We also do field gleaning, where we take farmers' excess crops that would otherwise go wasted and distribute those at the mobile markets as well. We teach through Culinary Job Training Program and nutrition programs. The Culinary Job Training Program prepares adults with severe life challenges for careers in food service during an 11-week hands-on course taught by professional chefs and a social worker. The nutrition programs will be explained in more detail in the following slides. And of course, we grow through agriculture programs in urban areas of Raleigh and Durham and run a small-scale farm at Tryon Road in Raleigh, where volunteers and incubator farmers learn how to grow food, with much of the chemical-free production distributed to mobile markets and sold at our farm stand. For more detailed information about any of these programs, please visit our website at www.foodshuttle.org. Interfaith Food Shuttle Nutrition Education Division implements multiple programs in our community. Those programs generally fall into 2 main buckets. One is our national partnership with Share Our Strength and the suite of Cooking Matters curriculum, and then the proprietary curriculum that we have created to meet specific needs and requests in the community. So starting with our national partnership with Share Our Strength, we have Cooking Matters, which is a 6-week culinary-based nutrition education course, Cooking Matters at the Store, which is a standalone guided grocery store tour, and then toolkits that can be downloaded and used for one-time nutrition education activities. The proprietary curricula we have created are Food Matters and Play Smart mobile curriculum. Food Matters was created in response to a request from our mobile market participants that wanted to have tastings and demos and learn how to preserve food, and so we created a curriculum around those mobile farmers markets. And then the PlaySmart mobile curriculum was designed to partner with our food truck, the mobile tastiness machine, that goes into low-income areas and feeds children meals for dinner. Now that you've learned a little bit more about Interfaith Food Shuttle and the programs that we implement, let's take a deeper dive into the Nutrition Education Department. And first we'll start with Share Our Strength and the programs that we have from our national partner. Remember to keep Lily and her family in mind as you view information about the national partnership, our local role within the state, and the programs that we offer from Share Our Strength. This is a map from Cooking Matters website showing locations of Cooking Matters lead partners and host agencies. We encourage you to check out the Cooking Matters website at cookingmatters.org for the most up-to-date information on Cooking Matters lead partners and locations across the country. For a complete list of partners, visit the link on the bottom of the screen. As the lead partner for North Carolina, we have committed to providing training, onboarding, resources, and in some cases funding to assist agencies throughout the state who wish to utilize evidence-based programs of Share Our Strength in their communities. Any nonprofit that's a 501c3 organization can become a satellite partner of Interfaith Food Shuttle. We are fortunate to have active partners from the mountains all the way to the coast. Satellite locations include schools and after-school programs, housing programs, community centers, child care centers such as Head Start, and other agencies that serve low-income families. Hosting Cooking Matters allows these agencies to expand the services they offer clients without having to develop their own program. Working with community-based agencies mean that we are able to reach participants in a place that is convenient and comfortable for them. Let's take a look at Cooking Matters. Cooking Matters signature courses are designed to be conducted over the course of 6 in-person small group sessions, each lasting approximately 2 hours. Each course is designed to teach low-income families and individuals how to choose and prepare healthy, simple meals on a limited budget. It is up to the lead and/or satellite partner to choose which Cooking Matters courses to offer in their community. This flexibility allows us to meet the specific needs of our community and offer programming that is aligned with our missions. Cooking Matters curricula and program materials are to be used for implementing Cooking Matters courses and special events only. Research-based curricula go through an extensive development process and includes formative research, a pilot phase, and a revision process. This process takes about 1 year. The curricula follow the USDA's Dietary Guidelines for Americans and uses MyPlate. This slide features the curricula that we currently are implementing throughout our own programming and our satellite programming. Please note that adults, families, and parents' curricula are all available in Spanish as well. Cooking Matters at the Store is a guided grocery store tour that teaches low-income adults how to get the most nutrition for their food dollars. This grocery store tour helps families make healthy and affordable choices at the supermarket. During this 1-hour tour, participants practice key food shopping skills, such as buying fruits and vegetables on a budget, comparing unit prices, reading food labels, and identifying whole grain foods. The curricula is available for adults and those using a WIC food package. Both are available in English and Spanish. Cooking Matters WIC facilitators should have a general knowledge of the WIC program in their state. And generally, the Interfaith Food Shuttle uses this curriculum in place of the 5th week lesson that is included in Cooking Matters for Adults or Cooking Matters for Parents because it provides a more in-depth information for leading grocery store tours. In 2015, we created a mobile version of our popular Cooking Matters at the Store grocery store tour. We wanted to remove some of the barriers to implementing a grocery store tour, such as transportation, limited mobility, or even special learning needs. And so our pop-up tour is a unique way of leading a Cooking Matters at the Store grocery store tour outside of the grocery store. The tour allows participants to learn how to shop for healthy food on a budget in the same interactive way that an in-person grocery store tour would, but without some of those barriers. So it can be implemented in a classroom, a boardroom, or a community center. Participant incentives by course include reusable grocery bags, cutting boards, and pedometers for kids. Everyone gets a framed graduation certificate. Share Our Strength provides volunteer milestone gifts for first-time volunteers as well as ongoing volunteers as they continue to volunteer with Cooking Matters program. This slide lists the number of courses and type of milestone gifts volunteers will be mailed. This is why it's important for us to have your most current mailing address so that these gifts can come directly to you. Upon the completion of 15 courses, you can be inducted into the Cooking Matters Hall of Fame. This happens once a year and is a great way for us and Share Our Strength to celebrate your time volunteering with Cooking Matters courses. Now let's take a look at some of the programs that we have designed to meet very unique needs in the community. There are 2 additional programs that we have developed in response to a need for nutrition education in non-traditional settings. One is our Play Smart mobile curriculum that we designed to accompany the food truck that goes into communities to feed children and pregnant women. This program was aligned with the North Carolina Obesity Plan for 2020 objectives. And after dinner, the kids come over to the nutrition area to play games and learn a thing or two about nutrition, such as reading food labels, making healthy activity and food choices, reducing sugary beverages, and identifying whole grains. All activities are interactive and physically active, such as the Healthy Choices Twister game that kids play. Another program we developed was in response to a request from mobile market participants to provide recipes, tastings, demonstrations, and information on how to prepare and store foods that they weren't familiar with. We developed produce cards seen in this picture to provide information on nutrition value of specific produce items, how to prepare and store those items, and tips on preparation. An additional interactive education session accompanies some of the mobile markets so that participants can enjoy samples of foods prepared from items that they are receiving at the market. They get recipes and take-home versions of the produce cards as well. Participants are more likely to select foods they have tried first and feel comfortable preparing. Because interns and volunteers serve in a variety of different roles, and many of our programs use the same best practices, in this section we will cover our course gold standards, learner-centered courses, facilitated dialogue, and other tools you can use to implement effective, impactful programming. The Gold Standards is a set of requirements for Cooking Matters courses. It is a list that consists of 6 gold standards. Each standard has a set of key behaviors and actions that, if followed, can help your courses be as meaningful as possible to the participants. The gold standards are based on Cooking Matters philosophy that a learner-centered education has great impact and affects long-lasting behavior change. In the training on evaluation and reporting, we spent some time discussing behavior change, including how it is measured and the impact and outcomes of our courses. Throughout this training, let's keep these gold standards in mind as we walk through the essential information to help you to successfully coordinate a Cooking Matters course. This is a visual of the first page of the Cooking Matters course gold standards. As you can see, it is a chart. Each standard has a list of dimensions and indicators that, when met, help you maintain gold standard courses. Using this as a framework for courses helps to ensure that all Cooking Matters course participants have a positive learning experience that graduates can take away improved nutrition practices, eating habits, and food budgeting skills. You will also notice that each dimension has a priority level affiliated with it, ranging from critical to important. Obviously, those that are listed as critical need to happen, and it would be ideal if those that are important are also upheld. Some of the dimensions are things that are second nature to you and to people you work with, and some may take a little more finesse to fine-tune, but again, please try to make these items a priority when coordinating courses. I encourage you to become familiar with the gold standards. There is a simplified version of the gold standards that will be given to you during the in-person volunteer training. Cooking Matters courses are not based on demonstration nor lecture. They are participatory and centered on the learner. The learner-centered model is integral to meeting all of the gold standards. Learner-centered courses recognize that learners are the experts in their own lives. They involve sharing and comparing of experiences from members of the group. Create a safe environment for learners to consider changing behaviors. There are 3 specific techniques that course coordinators and volunteer instructors can use to make sure that programming is learner-centered. The first is to make sure that they are all hands-on courses. The second is taught by a volunteer team who, 3, uses facilitated dialogue methods. The average person retains 90% of information that occurs as they do a task. Because it has been shown that people learn best when they are engaged in dialogue and have the opportunity to practice, our courses are participatory. Team teaching allows participants to receive professional instruction from qualified instructors who create a dynamic classroom, share their experience, knowledge, and skills, perspective, and real-life experiences with participants, and reinforce the lesson's key messages from different perspectives. The third method used in Cooking Matters courses is a technique called facilitated dialogue. Facilitated dialogue is a method of group teaching that involves active participation of both the learner and the educator. It offers proven techniques for engaging learners. Each of the Cooking Matters curricula's weekly lessons have been adapted to incorporate facilitated dialogue techniques, and during the next few slides we will talk about tools used in facilitated dialogue. Use the bike rack list to park learners' ideas or objectives that aren't quite aligned with the lesson or course objectives is a technique that acknowledges learner objectives while also creating a reminder to the instructor for incorporating those ideas at a more appropriate time. It is recommended that throughout the course, educators keep a bike rack and address items on the rack when appropriate. Open-ended questions provide the educator with information about the participant's life. An open-ended question is not a question that can be answered with a simple yes or no, as shown by these sample questions here. Only the second question here is an open-ended question. Pros and cons charts help the learner to see both sides of changing or not changing a behavior and allow learners to consider a range of ideas that might help them make changes. They also help facilitators realize what will support or block the learner's attempts to make a change. Menus and choices is another facilitated dialogue technique that can be used to engage learners in discussion about potential behavior change. For example, when asking participants about making a change, rather than asking them what change they will make, offer them some choices. This will help them remember certain topics and help encourage discussion about potential concerns around making particular behavior change. The slide features an example of how menus and choices technique is incorporated in the curricula. Using these basic techniques can be helpful not only to stimulate conversation, but to help the program to be a comfortable place to begin to make desired behavior changes. As we saw in a previous slide, participants will learn best if they are engaged in dialogue and have an opportunity to practice. In this next section, we will talk about program evaluation and your impact as a volunteer or intern on our programming. We evaluate our programs to learn if what we are doing is working, who we are reaching, if we can prove that what we are doing works, and how we can make our programs better. It's also important to know how we can spend our time and our money more effectively, and what our overall contribution is to ending hunger. As mentioned before, to understand impact, we need to understand how we reach families. The first component of impact is outputs. It involves who we reach and how many people we reach. Outcomes are the second component of impact. They involve changes in the people we reach, how their lives are different after participating in a course or program. Impact is really the sum of all of the outputs and outcomes. The goal is to maximize both so that families experience positive changes and maintain them over time. Now let's take a closer look at outcomes. Outcomes are the changes that participants experience. How do participants change through their participation in a course or program? They might change their knowledge, skills, self-efficacy, also known as confidence, and attitudes. Ultimately, these changes result in them changing their behavior. Why do you think all of these different types of changes are important? What happens if you read a book on how to cook, but you don't have the confidence to actually do it? Or what about if you had the skills to make healthy choices at the grocery store, but you don't think that healthy food tastes good? What areas do we observe participants changing in? As a result of participating in our courses, tours, or other programs, participants change their knowledge, skills, self-efficacy, attitudes, and behavior around food resource management, healthy food, cooking, and food safety. We know that impact involves many families experiencing positive change. Specifically, the impact of programs hopes to have is more families are eating healthy foods, are able to make food budgets stretch further, and that better food environment is created for children. We've taken a look at program impact, but now it's time to take a look at your impact. As a volunteer or intern, in 2016, you accumulated over 2,000 hours worth of time implementing evidence-based programming in the community. That is equal to a full-time staff person in savings, and that savings is something that the Interfaith Food Shuttle Nutrition Division is able to then apply to increased programming in other areas. We enormously appreciate everything that our interns and volunteers do for the community and for us as an organization, and want to make sure you understand how important your contribution is. One full-time person worth of work is being done by volunteers and interns just like you. Congratulations! This concludes the Nutrition Volunteer and Intern at-Home training. We hope that you have enjoyed learning a little bit more about Interfaith Food Shuttle and the work that we do in the community, and also the programs that we implement. The next step is for you to refer back to the blog where you located this training video and complete a short survey found in the link. Additionally, you will want to sign up for an in-person training for either volunteers or nutrition onboarding. And you can always contact the Cookie Matters coordinator or Elizabeth Weeks, our intern coordinator, if you have any questions about your next steps found on the next slide. Congratulations on finishing training, and we look forward to seeing you in person soon. Take care.